I am your host. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
I thought y'all knew.
I am your host, Tyrone Bridges. Let's get it. Test. Test, test, one, two. If you're joining us, please unmute your mic. Please announce your name so we won't butcher it. For those who don't know how to join, I just got through putting the link in the Zoom chat box. Of course, we got to get a little intro in. Testing, testing, one, two. This is Tyrone Bridges. I am your host for the show. And I wanted to get anybody in that can't hear me. Is that Miss Gaines? Please say your name, I believe. I want to make sure I don't butcher you up. You can be in the waiting room or you can join in. But anyhow, let me start the show, y'all. I'm your host, Tyrone Bridges. And this is an open public forum about the recent incident that happened to the young 6-year-old boy. And due to the outcry of the community and also through the news, today I'm going to quickly play back to you what happened on the news from the news today that was reporting from the news. Here we go.
That family's plea for justice is beginning to be heard. 29-year-old Ryan Lee Wen sent back to jail by a judge earlier today, being held here at the Washtenaw County lockup, and he'll stay there unless he can make a $100,000 bond cash.
I just want justice for Kobe.
6-year-old Kobe Daniel shot in the arm for apparently leaving a bike in the yard of suspected shooter Ryan Lee Wen, a neighbor.
He doesn't even use a sledgehammer, but that's not gonna work. He'll too fast.
So then what did he do?
Got a gun. Boom. Shot me right here.
The tragedy on video. Lee Wen walked free, getting just a $10,000 bond Tuesday. No tether either.
If you're violent and you lose your cool, you need to be locked up.
That's been Arnold's plea, trying to get Lee Wen back behind bars. An emergency hearing Thursday regarding his bail.
Whenever first one is Ryan, the last one is Lee Wen.
The Washtenaw County prosecutor Ellie Savick originally requested a $100,000 cash bond and went for that again with a list of specific bond conditions.
Specifically, given the gravity of this case and the significant risk to public safety, the people are requesting the defendant be immediately remanded into custody.
Savick said in court after the shooting happened in Ypsilanti Township Saturday, Lee Wen admitted to shooting a gun out of his window.
The additional facts that were presented by the people in the motion
that were not presented at the arraignment are quite troubling. Defendant is to turn himself over to the custody of the Washington County Sheriff's Department today. I'm going to set a new bond at $100,000 cash or surety.
The news bittersweet for Arnold, Daniel, and Kobe.
If I hadn't initiated calling the news people and getting someone else involved, me just fighting from my podium, he would still be free, and these people would have ignored me to the end of time.
He says Lee Wen's mother is a longtime employee of the Washington County Sheriff's Office and is concerned that Lee Wen has gotten preferential treatment.
Brian, I really don't have no hard feelings. I don't have no hard feelings, but you're wrong. You're wrong, man. You lost your mind, man, and you need to be held accountable.
Now, if he is able to post bail, it has to be paid in full and paid by someone who the court approves of, that Lee Wen can then be in the custody of. And of course, he would have to be on tether as well. Reporting in Washington County, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News. Jessica, did the county sheriff have any response on this suspected shooter's mom working for the sheriff's office and whether that played a role in the low bond? Sheriff Jerry Clayton said he does not comment on personnel matters, which is very standard. He did say, though, that this case handled like any others, no special treatment, and he did want to stress that his investigators have nothing to do in bail decisions.
All right. Welcome, Pamela.
Thank you.
I don't want to butcher your last name, but please say your last name so everybody won't hear me butcher it. I don't want to butcher your last name.
Oh, sure. It's Maturo.
All right. Welcome. And is that Miss Gaines? I didn't hear you announce your name. If you want to just listen, go ahead and listen. Forgive me, but I just want to make sure you get in. I just wanted to play that clip for everybody that's listening, because a lot of people do want to listen. A lot of people don't plan to join in. But I think it's important that we actually listen to what actually happened today and actually figure out how did we actually get here. And I wanted to open the floor to anybody who's actually joining this Zoom, this open public forum, to actually chime in and weigh in on how do you think we actually got here? So Pamela, you can actually chime in, since
It's a big question. Don't know how we got here, and mostly I'm here just to listen and hear the voices of the Ypsilanti community and to hear what they're asking for and why.
Okay. Well, since we don't have anybody else chiming in right now, I'm going to go ahead and finish the second part of the clip. I had to actually splice this clip up because I heard some compelling things in that audio from the news. This part right here was when the judge mentioned about the actual charging information. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'm gonna let the judge say it herself.
The additional facts that were presented by the people in the motion that were not presented at the arraignment are quite troubling.
The additional facts that were presented by the people in the arrangement motion was quite troubling. Let me play it again. I want to make sure I hope you can hear it. I want to make sure everybody hears it, because people on Facebook are replying.
The additional facts that were presented by the people in the motion that were not presented at the arraignment are quite troubling.
Additional facts. And that's a bit strange to me, because we actually didn't see the original clip to the bond hearing. But I Thought You Knew brought it to the show a day before. And I remember mentioning that it was brought to our attention, allegedly, that a member of his family that might have been connected or works with the sheriff department or so. And not that the parent is at fault. We wanted to make sure at the public expense that it's not any preferential treatment. So let's play this part right here as the 8-minute clip from the news story came out. I had to capture this one as well, just so the public can hear when we brought the news, we got our facts correct.
He says Lee Wen's mother is a longtime employee of the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office and is concerned that Lee Wen has gotten preferential treatment.
Okay, I usually play that twice because I want to make sure everybody hears. I like to break down my clips because I want to play the facts. Everybody's always saying that we contacted the news crews and we contacted, look, we brought the facts because this information came from real sources. One more time, everybody. Forgive me. I always like to play it again, but check it out.
He says Lee Wen's mother is a longtime employee of the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office and is concerned that Lee Wen has gotten preferential treatment.
So, pertaining to the original arraignment, if the video still exists on YouTube, everybody can go back to the original arraignment and gather their own perception as to what really happened. There was a defense, there was a suspect, there was a magistrate, and no prosecuting attorney. In a shooting case, mind you, there have been previous shooting cases in this administration, Ellie Savage administration, shootings, not murders, but I'm saying shootings. We're talking about shootings. They got PR bonds. So, sound like to me today, in my own opinion, from my investigation, it sounded like it was a cleanup on aisle 1 because it should have been done at the original arraignment. When a shooter is there that shoots a child or shoots any citizen, the prosecutor usually in normal circumstances, be there to present the charges and ask for the specific bond or whomever or whatever. Okay. So my question today is, the public continuously faulting the judge, Judge Fink? Not that I'm a fan. Or should the blame fall on both the prosecuting attorney's office and Judge Fink's office? That's the question that I have today. Because a lot of people really they ain't speaking about that. They ain't speaking about it.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt.
You're good.
So I think I'm hearing you say that you're concerned that there was no one from the prosecuting attorney's office present at the first arraignment. And then I heard you mention something about a PR bond. I'm not familiar with that term. Could you explain that to me?
The new prosecuting attorney has I'm going to put this file in the comment box. He has a new policy about the cash bail system.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to put that policy in the comment box so people could see it and read it at their own leisure. It's just, it's very interesting that we have this situation on the back of the new prosecuting attorney coming out with the no cash, no cash bail policy, or the policy he came out with. Don't quote me wrong, but it's a part of his plan. Here it is. Here it is, right here. All right, there it is. It's in the chat box, so y'all can download it. It's PDF file. The 2021-2022 cash bail policy from the prosecuting attorney's office. And let me admit some more people in. Just 1 second. Hello, Talisa. How you doing? Welcome. So that's the information from the prosecuting attorney's office that our county is basically is held up under. My problem with the arrest of the shooter, and I'm going to call it like it is when he was arrested, knowingly, since we're talking about the new policy, knowing that he had the wherewithal to post a bond, knowing that his family ties was within the Washtenaw County and they was going to scramble to get monies to help him get out. That made the playing field uneven because they gave him such low bond. And in the act of the judges, the judge only did basically what the prosecuting attorney's template was. No cash bond, PRs, or reduced bond. My concern also that the public should be concerned about and outraged about is the charging document, the original charging document. When you hear Judge Fink speak about the original charge in the original video, you have to really listen to the original video because at the end they had to cut it. The sentence part came, well, the actual bond part came back on later, but then went back off. So if it's a matter of public record and we're putting all this information out there and we're splicing the videos, that doesn't build the public trust. And the way this happened after all the news came out about who he was affiliated with is quite suspect. And I'm pretty sure that the judge mentioned by the quite troubling information that wasn't presented in the first place. My thing is this: what are they hiding? What are they hiding? They shouldn't have hid it. They shouldn't have sent the suspect to Livingston County. The crime happened in Washtenaw County. Washtenaw County have holding cells for a single person. They can make room for him. He did the crime in Washtenaw County. The preferential treatment does not fit or sit well with the public. And certain people out there that may be his supporters don't really want me to bring this information out there to the public. It is what it is. This prosecutor is supposed to be for Washtenaw County residents, not for his friends or doing someone a favor or a wink, wink, nod, nod. That's my concern. I know the public loves to have public forums and they like to be face to face with these people. I understand also that as well. But there have been many cases we talked about that no one wants to talk about, like the recent murder of Miss Williams' son by a guy who was arrested with 7 felonies by Eastern Michigan University police. And he was released by Ellie Savage prosecution team on a PR bond, and then he murdered 18 days later, he murdered Miss Williams' son. So that's one case that I talked about, and it's on our Facebook group page. So there's a lot of evidence that we haven't talked about because more is still coming. But the ultimate question is, what now? Where do we go from here? Protests over with? The man is in jail, pending the $100,000 surety bond. Next court date, where he can plead down to reckless discharge of a firearm? Or was this cleanup on aisle one? I don't understand. Everybody that was outraged about it don't want to talk about it, I guess. But this is somebody's baby. At the end of the day, it's somebody's baby. No politicians. One person, I seen the comment by Commissioner Ricky Jefferson. But honest to God, if I wouldn't have let my video off and so many people wouldn't have talked about the video, I don't even think they would have been over there protesting today. So let's keep it real. Our information is information that comes to us. I don't work for law enforcement. I don't work for nobody on the streets. This is an independent show. There are some people mad about it because the information that we provide. Will get mad at the private investigators that provide the information. And also, our sources won't be revealed. Our sources won't be revealed, or we won't be cowered into bringing news to you that's factual. So anybody that haven't said anything, that would like to say something, I don't want to be the only talker, didn't want to be the only talker. I don't care if it's one or two people. I did my part. I'm going to continue to do my part. I'm going to continue to expose the wrongdoings of this prosecutor's office because there's more. There are more cases coming. This is just one. This is just one. So I hope for those who didn't get a chance to come in and chime in on the public forum that I thought you knew provided, or however we work it out, I did it. I opened up the public, a public forum for anybody that can come and say what they needed to say or listen, take the information that I got. We'll hold another public forum where I'm going to be sharing the information that I get to the public. So you won't see that somebody's giving me bogus information. I'm going to give you that factual information. Just to give you a quick update while we're here on a story that we ran, and we just got the information yesterday from the Washtenaw County FOIA coordinator, Tammy Richards. I Thought You Knew did a show about, I want to say in March, I'll tell you the exact date, March 26th, about Happy's Pizza. There was 2 young girls sexually assaulted at Happy's Pizza. I put in a FOIA request. May 17th, and I updated it May 18th with some information asking the following question. Asking the prosecutor's office, what have they done with this case, with the Happy's Pizza case? And I just got this information back yesterday at 4:27 p.m. I know this show was supposed to be about the young 6-year-old boy, but these are young girls that was assaulted at Happy's Pizza. So I Thought You Knew did our digging. We did our background information. We pried, we digged, and we found out that the prosecuting attorney's office denied 3 of the suspect, denied 3 of them to be charged, but they charged one suspect, and they redacted his information. Okay? One suspect with assault or assault and battery, which is a misdemeanor. A misdemeanor. So they charged this man. Y'all want to know what date they charged this man? Because we've been digging. We want to know things. So they charged this man, per this information, unless I'm reading it wrong. The date looked like it was signed, or the warrant was authorized 5/26/2021. I believe signed by the court officer or whoever in the office, I believe, 6/4/2021. We got the information. We got the goods. So we would like to, under the records of transparency, share it with the public and show you what we have found, because this is public information. But I get it, because I don't want to sit on it. I just want to share it with the public. Save your girls, save your boys. There are predators out there. They're not being watched very well. And they're getting low bond, low charges. I know a lot of people might be concerned that's not on here, but I'd be concerned when you got predators running around here messing with the babies. Okay? So I'm going to share the information, just like I said. And I want the public to know that our group is transparent. And whatever we get via FOIA for the public, we want the public to know we did our job. We did our job completely. So I would like to share the correct information. I don't want to share nothing personal. Let me make sure. Charging document. Denial. Okay. Amended charging documents right there. Okay. That's the amended charging documents. The next one would be the first denial form. The next file would be the second denial form. If I'm not mistaken, it might be on the third denial form. It might be an adjustment where they're charging that one person. Don't quote me wrong. Please forgive me if I'm incorrect. But there we go. Public information. Shared it with the public. Now, for the other cases that I've reported, and I said we got the documents. I'd like to tell people I got the receipts to everything that I have said, anything that I've reported on this show. I'm going to bring the receipts. Y'all going to understand that we mean business, and we're trying to get this public information out there to you, because a lot of people don't get to see what they need to see to make things clear. It's a lot of going on in our county, and our story has been all over, especially the 6-year-old boy shooting. Okay, that's been all over. There's more. I'm just warning everybody. More stuff that y'all go hear. Even if you're a Savage supporter, you might hate it, but it's going to blow your mind. I'm just a reporter. I'm getting the information. Hate me or love me, I don't care. It's free. I'm not asking nobody for cash support for this show because it's open to the public. MLive, they posted a story yesterday about the hearing today. So y'all check out some of them stories on MLive, how they post them right after we do stories playing damage control. This ain't a Democrat or Republican situation. It's a human being situation when our babies are shot. And when people are being let out on personal recognizance bond because it sounds good to commit more crime in our community. The floor is open to anybody. They'd like to
So
say
I
anything.
have a question regarding the update. And I'm sorry if you've already went over that information, but I think I saw that they were requiring him to come back to Washtenaw County and I guess petitioning or whatever the proper terminology is for them to raise his bond. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They did
So
bring him
has he
back.
turned himself in?
He turned himself in.
Okay.
All this was on via Zoom. The
Okay.
hearing is on the judge's page in Washtenaw County. I'll repost the actual hearing on the link as soon as this is over with.
Okay.
But I'm trying to give people a chance to chime in and check out some stuff. You know, I mean, like I said, I don't care if people don't like me. It's information. It's for you. It's for the public. I ain't hiding. I got the information about the Happy's Pizza incident. I even opened the floor up to the prosecutor. Explain yourself. He don't think, think he can come on the show and bamboozle us, but he can't explain himself? Really? Oh, because I'm not his boy. I'm not his boy, but the rest of the stuff that's about to come out, the public is going to be sicker. Just about to bring it out. So anybody that didn't, that want to say something that ain't chimed in or say some bad words or something, I don't know. I'm trying to give you, the look, see, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing. And see, when I post facts, see what they do? I get 4 people and the rest of them crickets. Because what's going to happen is his boy is going to get ready to start a video and say, look, he set his bond higher. He in jail now. But if it would have happened in the beginning.
Yeah, but it was only after people started to make noise about it.
That's the only time.
So had anyone not said anything, had you not, talked about it on the show, would there have been any change?
Normal process, normal practice. Now, I'm not talking about that he should have adopted the Mackey administration, but this seems like it's even worse than Mackey's right now when you let more people get out on PR bonds. Normally, when you got a shooting suspect, a suspect that shot somebody, there's a defense attorney, there should be a prosecuting attorney that's there weighing in on the bond. But the prosecuting attorney was a no-show. And how you doing, Valerie? The prosecutor was a no-show. So in the original arraignment, when the prosecutor was a no-show, he was doing what he was supposed to do. He didn't show up. He didn't argue for high bond. He didn't argue anything. So in the clip of the original arraignment with Judge Fink, Judge Fink was confused. Like, wait a minute, this information ain't, I don't understand. Okay, so she rolled with her normal thing that she was supposed to do. She rolled with the normal plan. The normal plan, he asked for $100,000, of course. She said her little things that she said while she was on the bench and congratulate, whatever she said to him. Y'all know it's in her own words. I don't want to quote her. But he got that bond because our prosecuting attorney didn't do his job. Today, he got a do-over. He got a do-over. And all I'm saying is his do-over, should that be the ending of all this protesting? Or what? What next is the question. So Mr. Tucson, I definitely like to hear from Mr. Tucson because we got Mr. Tucson on with us. We got Miss Valerie Brown on there with us too, his wife. We need to hear some answers because it seems like Shane folks scared to talk. I'm just trying to get some answers. What next?
Hey, bro, Bridges.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm happy about your encouragement, your courageousness to keep the fire burning. You remind me of Jeremiah when they had put old Jeremiah in jail. Told him, you hush talking, Jeremiah. Keep on talking about Jesus. We're gonna lock you up, and we ain't gonna let you go. And they put old Jeremiah in jail, Bridges, and he promised him he wouldn't talk no more. But when his time was up, they let old Jeremiah out. And he went downtown and seen the same thing was happening all over again. And you know what old Jeremiah said? He says, it's just like fire shut up in my bones. I can't hold my peace. I got to keep on talking. So I appreciate you for what you're doing, and you're doing it the right way. And don't be discouraged by no one. You're going to have haters. But you know what? He that's in you is greater than he that's out there in the woods. So don't you worry about that.
Amen.
Now this prosecutor that the elite people voted in, and some of these weak-minded black folks voted in, is not conducive to what Washington County needs. It's not conducive to what the city of Ypsilanti need, and it's not conducive to what the police departments need. I hear people saying that we didn't have prosecutors that argued bails. That's not true. We had one prosecutor that argued bails, even when he was in Brian Mackey's court. He argued bails. But when Savvy came on the scene, Savvy didn't want him no more. So he let him go. Because what? Savvy didn't want no bails. He wanted to run this operation like he's running it. Like he's even running it now. And I said earlier today, I look at the young gentleman, you know, from what, in my opinion, when I first hit the road, that young fella wasn't even born. I've been out here for 46 years doing what I'm doing. He was not even born, and even now he's still got milk on his breath when it comes down to me. I mean, he might have passed the bar, but I guarantee you, he can't touch this old man when it comes down to the law and the legality of the law, because I love it, and I'm not going to let nobody beat me doing nothing that I love. So what we have to do, we have to keep on putting the pressure on, because if you had not put the pressure on this fella, he would not have did what he did, and he wants to make it look like it was the magistrate's error.
Mm.
But he sets the tone.
That's right.
He sets the tone, and the magistrate sets the bail.
That's right.
He set the tone when he said he did not want no cash bonds.
Sure did.
So what this sister has to do? This sister has to go and either give people a PR, a low bond, which this $10,000 was a low bond for what this fella done, or give him a tether. So he set the stage for her to do what she done. All he had to do when he first came on board in the Washtenaw County as a prosecutor, what he should have done, he should have grabbed Sister Fink and told her, the way you're operating, we're going to change that. But he didn't, because he knew that she gave low bonds. He knew that she gave PRs. He knew that. So if he had wanted to change it, he could have did that on the onset when he come here, but he didn't want to do that.
That sure
And
did.
maybe he really didn't know how to do that. But it's a lot of things that we, as community people, has to fight to make sure things go right. Because Savvy is not concerned about the safety of the Black community. He's not concerned about that. And the handwriting's on the wall that he's not concerned about that. Because these kids, they go around, they commit crimes, they rob Mr. Johnson, they snatch Miss Mary's purse, and then ultimately they go in and guess what they do? They take Mr. Roberts' life. Guess what? Savvy is on a mission. Annihilation by any means necessary. Let me show you what I mean by that. He let the little boys go. They do all their little hideous things. He pat them on the hand, and then ultimately go and commit murder. Guess what happens now? Mr. Brown's dead, and little Johnny got to go to jail now because he done committed murder.
Yeah.
That's what you call annihilation by any means necessary. You get 2 for 1. Black folks have to sit down and count the costs and see exactly what's happening in their community. Savvy understands that he, as a Caucasian, is losing his power. He's losing his power because, you know what? Too many Black boys loving white girls and too many white girls loving Black boys. And guess what? They marrying because they love one another. And they having children. And guess what? Because of society says if you got 1 drop of Black blood in you, you is Black. So he know his throat is being cut, and he is out on a mission. Annihilation by any means necessary. That's exactly what's happening. See, I hate when people sit back and let people of authority come into their community and they have not checked them out. They have not run no records on to see what you're getting. I was at all the Black Lives Matter rallies, and whenever Valerie would introduce him, she would introduce Savvy. She would say, "He's white, but he's all right." He should have been offended by that, but he was not offended by it at all because he's thinking in his mind, "I am going to get out there, not going to prosecute no Blacks because I'm out there on an annihilation mission." But see, but my question was, I ain't got no problem with Savvy being white. I ain't got no problem with him being all right. But my question was, how is he after midnight? Because after midnight, that's when they put the hoods and sheets on, lure you out your house and kill you. That was my concern. But you know what? We have to keep on doing what we're doing, bringing these issues to the forefront, not backing down. Because you know what? A lot of people worry about, oh, Savvy, he got money. He's rich. What if he's rich? Me and him got the same daddy. Because I got a rich daddy. I got a daddy that owns houses and land. He holds the world in the palm of his hand. So if he rich like my daddy rich, me and him on the same page. But you know what? If his dad is not rich like mine, my daddy holds the riches that his daddy holds. So you know what? I'm not even worried about that kind of junk. So what you do, Brother Bridges, you keep on pushing, because there's a higher calling for you. People are looking for folks that gonna bring it just like it is. People do not appreciate too many Sunday school segments, bringing these folks in and just asking them questions about how you feel about this, how you think this gonna go. Nobody don't really want to hear that. They want to hear just what you're doing, bringing it out, calling them out, talk about what they're doing, and you know what? Making them fix it. Making them fix it. You have to always do just what you're doing. Let a rascal know you done peeped his whole card.
Where's the preachers at? Where's the preachers at? Not a preacher, not a peep from Nan preacher.
Well, you know, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something about the preaching element. You're a preacher. Listen to me, son. You're a preacher. You just don't have no license to bury nobody. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to have a license to preach. You just have to have a license to bury folks. Now, watch this here. Sometimes you bury folks while they still living. Listen to me, son. You bury them while they still living because you don't come out and support them. I'm talking about the preacher now. Sometimes he bury folks while they living because he won't come out and support them. And in this case here, watch this here. In this case here, we talking about children. Children are our future. We got to look out for the kids. We got to do what we need to do we got to uplift the kids. We got to protect the kids.
And it's biblical.
And I've heard preachers preach on this same stage. The kids are our future. So what if the kids are our future, then we got to come out and let the folks know, don't mess with the kids.
That's right.
We got to let the kids know we with you. Because let me show you what Jesus done. The kids was pressing him one day, and then what the crowd said, leave him alone, don't bother him. I mean, I'm paraphrasing now.
Okay.
Leave him alone, don't bother him. But then Jesus stepped up. You know what he said? He said, suffer little children to come unto me. Forbid them not, for such is the kingdom of heaven. And then he says, unless you come as a child, you will no wise enter into heaven. And then he said this, it would have been better for you to put a millstone around your neck and thrown into the sea.
Yes, sir.
For you to mess with one of these little ones of mine. When preachers don't come out and support things that's happening to children, they may well go and get a millstone around their neck and jump off in the Uin River.
That's right.
Because he wants you to protect. He wants you to protect, not just to get out here and try to scare folks into heaven. Because that's a free will thing. That's a free, salvation is free. And it's left up to you to accept it. But what needs to happen with the preachers has laws. They have laws, if I want to say identity.
Yeah.
The preachers had laws. See, you don't have no preachers living in the black communities no more. They tired of the noise. They tired of the boom boxes riding up and down the street by their house. They tired of the boys hanging on the corners. They tired of all this kind of thing. So what they do, they move out in their own heaven where they going to have some peace. But he must understand he ain't going to have no peace until the last bell rang. See, that's the thing that kind of, it kind of bothers me, because in order to lead people and get people sustained and solid in the truth, you got to tell them the truth. Gospel is the finest thing there ever was. Jesus Christ was the greatest gospel preacher there ever was, and there'll never be no more like him. But guess what? He also was a social justice preacher.
Yes, sir.
Jesus was a social justice preacher, but you don't have no social justice coming from these pulpits.
Not at all.
Watch this. Watch this. Because there is something to lose.
Yeah.
I might want to make a move over here, and if I come out against these white folks that's in charge, they might not grant me X, Y, and Z. So I'm not going to make no noise. I'm gonna let God handle it. I get sick of hearing that statement. I'm gonna let God handle it. The sky ain't ready to crack like glass yet. He ain't ready to touch down. But when he touched down, he gonna start at the church first, whooping rump from the pulpit to the back door.
That's right.
And then they holler, let God handle it. Listen here, I got 5 boys. I got 5 boys, and I'm their daddy. And every one of them boys is a little Lee Tucson. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Now watch this here. If God is their father, if God is them preachers' father, if God is our father, guess what? We little gods. And we supposed to take care of what he want us to do. He said, occupy till I come. And lo, I'm with you even to the end of the earth. He want us to occupy. He ain't ready to touch down yet. If somebody doing something they ain't got no business, that preacher's supposed to go and say, hey man, you're messing up. You ain't gonna mess up in my community. Preachers get out there. Preachers, sometimes you can look at them as gang members because they uphold each other in their wrongness. They know preachers out there fornicating. They know preachers out there stealing. They know preachers out there spanking and stinking and doing all the drinking he can find. But you know what? They won't say nothing to him. But watch what's happening here with that. Them people watching that preacher that's drunk. They watching that preacher that's sneaking in the back door of Miss Mary. They watching that. And guess what them little kids saying? I ain't going to that church. He can't tell me nothing because he's doing just what I'm doing.
Right.
Watch this, and I'm going to let you go with this here, son. The Bible says, if any man among you seem to be religious and bridle not his tongue, that man religion is vain. And then it says, pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this, that you visit the sick, the widows and their afflictions, and keep yourself unspotted from the world. A preacher can't tell nobody nothing if he got spots on him.
That's right.
Thank you, son. Keep on doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it, Mr. Tucson. Thank you for the words. Y'all, you see what we trying to do? We trying to bring it to you raw and real, 100%. I mean, he actually polished the show up. He said it all. Our mission is clear, and what we need to do, we need to continue to put pressure on this prosecuting attorney. But in my words of my brothers that I always call out for, brothers in our streets, if you're doing dirt, if you're doing right, if you're a preacher, if you're a streetwalker, if you're a former gang member, if you're a gang member, if you're a real black man in Washtenaw County, you are supposed to step up when something happened to a child and actually come together with this family and us to try to resolve this cancer that's at the prosecuting attorney's office, because he have assaulted our community in a way, as Malcolm X said, our community has been hoodwinked and bamboozled because you elected a prosecutor that wanted to give you some candy or line his friends' pockets. All this gonna come out. A lot of stuff that we ain't talked about. I got a book of stuff, evidence. So it's gonna come out, or they're gonna try to make me come up missing. And this full disclaimer to my goons, my brothers, y'all know who it is. Y'all know what I'm about. I've had some people saying some foul things about bringing information that's true. You might need to tap on their shoulders and let them stand back. They out their lane. Let them know. Stand back. They out their lane. This community, if we don't stand up and do something about this prosecuting attorney, and we'll fall for anything. If it's your son that got shot, your baby got shot, and you are silent, ain't no race thing, it's a baby, a child. A child. This room should be full. We got 6 people because I know you got a bunch of people on these group sites talking. I know you got these haters talking, but see, the one thing I got behind me is God. And I do have street soldiers. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. 6 people can be 600 overnight. Snoop Dogg, you heard about what happened to this 6-year-old. You spoke about it. We need your outrage to continue. New Era Detroit, you came down here, you embraced this family. You brought your power down here. Keep it down here. Don't just come down here because the cameras are rolling. For those who said I did not inbox you and reach out to you, even the son, the man, his son got shot. I reached out to a lot of people on Facebook inbox. Remember, I always have my receipts. So for those who want to take credit, take the credit. I don't need credit. God is taking care of me very well. I'm just bringing the news. And I hope y'all understand that if we continue like this next month, might be some major problems, because right now people out there in crime, they seeing that Washtenaw County is the softest county on crime. And they still not doing nothing with them predators that's out there, with them lenient reporting. I'm talking about them sex offenders. Skipping bond, raping disabled women. There's some men out there been raped too. Y'all like that? So whomever's silent, and if you feel that I'm wrong, y'all know where I'm at. Ellie, there's more against you than you think. You need to be called yourself to the carpet here. Come on this show and talk to us. Are you afraid? You came on here to try to get us to vote for you. Bruh, that ain't how shit work. Ricky Jefferson, Councilman Ricky Jefferson. I know you made that statement. Great job. I appreciate it. But bruh, that ain't enough. That ain't enough. Ronnie Peterson. State Representative Ronnie Peterson, African American. You're silent. That ain't enough. We got a lot of Ypsilanti elected officials who are minorities. You're silent. That ain't enough. It's unacceptable that the amount of fuckery going on in Washtenaw County, and we finding out more snitches out here, federal snitches. So listen, watch out for your partner, because your partner might be an informant. I'm just gonna put it on the floor, because when we get that information, we're gonna share it to the public, because that's how we roll. We're not gonna come with no fake information. We coming with the raw and the real. Any of these other groups out here talking about recalling the prosecutor, I'll wait. Please put the group in my comment box. I'll wait. Anybody doing podcasts talking about recalling the prosecutor? Nope. I'll wait. I've been doing this shit for a long time, 1993. Fighting black on black violence. That was the beginning of Black Watch Security. Well, we protected our kids going on the bus ourselves because we couldn't get the support of Mayor Cheryl Farmer in Ypsilanti. Check my history. We still deep, but silent. Peace.